on this platform, I do my best to curate what's going on in underground hip hop. And one thing that I've noticed within this last year is kind of feeling like somewhat of a renaissance going on.
Mm,
And in that renaissance, I'm gonna give some bullet points, some examples to lay some context. When hip hop was in a golden era, it seemed like the younger cats were carrying the torch. But in this new renaissance, all the dope rappers that are carrying the torch right now are over the age of 30. So basically, our upperclassmen is really leading the way in this renaissance.
indeed.
Second
Get
bullet
that.
point, the record labels told us the physical sales was done and we were all streaming. And as we seeing right now, physical sales are back. So
This
we're seeing
unfortunate.
things that's never been done before in this 2020 era. So I want to ask you guys that, you guys are prospering in this culture. You guys have been through the ups and downs through the 90s all the way up to now. How are you guys feeling right now living through this kind of new renaissance in hip hop?
Um, man, like you said, right now we're experiencing well, nothing new under the sun. Nothing under the sun is new. So we're just here experiencing it in our lifetime while we're actually part of the business that's taking place with it. So, because when we first came out, of course it was CDs, it was LPs, and it was physical copies that was moving, and it was no online presence.
Mm,
So now, 30 years in, what the tables do, they spin, and it's back to physical LPs along with the CD, along with the online presence of something that wasn't even heard of or that was contractual back when we first started getting it rocking. So to be here live and direct and experiencing it is a beautiful part of it also.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, man. I feel blessed to be a part of it, like to witness it and be a part of it. Because music is resilient. Like who can put a time stamp on any music? Like we're still digging and finding stuff. So it's like to be a part of it though. To actually have something, the substance to be able to usher it in along with these other iconic individuals, artists on many different levels is exciting, man. But it's also humbling too. It's
mm.
like, all right, so what do we do with this energy right here? Because it's still we never get too excited about our wins and the way we was raised. We always have that mindset to be like, all right, what's the next move that we got to do? So you know, that's where we at, and just staying grounded.
I feel you on that, but as a fan of hip hop, I guess I'm gonna have to be excited for y'all, man, because y'all put out a great body of work. And just as a
No,
fan of hip hop, man, so this next part, I got to give you guys your flowers and say congratulations.
thank you.
So congratulations are in order for a number of reasons for you guys. You released an amazing album that I've been lucky to get from Duck Down. If you ain't got it, you need to go to Duck Down and pretty much purchase the bundle. Need all of it. Need the
Yeah,
CD. Y'all need the y'all need the vinyl. Y'all got to get that, man.
Yeah.
Um, so you released an amazing album, and on top of that, The Shining, the original, crossed 30 years within legacy not too long ago.
yeah,
And more importantly, outside of hip hop, outside of music, you guys have a unique brotherhood that stood the test of time, which I think is very good. You guys are alive and healthy outside of music, and you pretty much have your relationships, your prospective relationships. So I want to ask you guys, as you're living through this moment currently, how does it feel, man?
it feels it's heavy. It's like heavy in a good way. It's like you came from the pit where like heavy could be stressful and it could take you out the game.
Mm,
It's like these tests at this point for us, like as we travel with our commission, with our better halves, and we feel more balanced. It's tough still, because we was always independent artists. We was always hands on. We was always in the mix. So it just gives it like, again, having some like good product and people like it. And it's not, you don't have to like embellish and stick your chest out. Like this is 30 years for real. Like we're still here. We still care. We still love it enough to come and bring you a healthy presentation, as opposed to just being some grumpy guys going, yo man, respect the work, bop, bop, and all that. Like nobody got time for that. We still having fun with it. We still watch our brothers come out. And we just was rocking with Busta Rhymes. He just dropped a project. Redman got to join out. Pete Rock got to join with Common. Like, that's exciting to see, man. It's like, Master Ace hit me. It was like, yo, that Medina that go hard. I'm like, yo, man. So
Yeah.
it's like, and it gives like, even when we was at the Monarch performing for our 30th year anniversary, like looking into the sea of people and seeing people feel safe enough to come to a Smif N Wessun show, all ages, because you have that age variation where it's like the elders don't want to come be around the wild shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we
You ain't lying with that, man. Not to cut you off. I'm almost 40 and I'm starting to get up there. I'm like, man, if it ain't a 30 and up crowd, I don't know, man.
but we all enjoy good music. We all enjoy a space where we can bust a move or two, or do a little boogie or whatever, and we enjoy that. We don't want to feel like we got to watch our backs. We don't want to feel like we got to impress the world. Like when you come to Smif N Wessun party, it's man, woman, and child. You know what I mean? People is partying like it's people our age is partying with their kids. Their kids is right now, and they from like 15 and they in their 20s, and some are even younger than that, and they get to see how we party. Like we remember, we was influenced by our elders, our aunties and uncles. We watched them partying and playing that music. It wasn't rap. It was like, you wanna get up and party.
It was still a vibe.
It was a
Yeah.
vibe. We was watching them vibe, and we was like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? So like we knew we wasn't gonna do that. So when we got hip hop as our own thing, it's like, wow, okay, so how do we treat it now? It's like it's the burden heavy is the head, man, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful responsibility to have when you're doing something that affects so many people, in a beautiful way, a righteous way.
And just to add on, it's exciting. Get thanks. Get thanks. It's exciting to see, like what he said, you look out into the crowd and you see your peoples that you went to high school with, and you see now, of course, they're in the same age gap. So now you see them with a younger one that's looking just like them, and their eyes are locked onto you, like, oh wow, okay, this is my dad or my uncle or my mom used to always tell me, and just
Nah,
to
they
see
saying
it,
it.
to be into it on their own is something that's truly a blessing. That's where you can say timeless music that stands the test of time. Everybody is into the vibe, having a good time, enjoying it. It's not a bunch of mean mugging and hoodies on it. Even how we came up that way, just to perform and give that energy out there, and the energy is reciprocated in a beautiful way and given back. That's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, we changed the game, man. We added on, like we made it cool to be a youngin', and we made it cool to be an elder. Like elders, when we came up, elders was like they was kind of like tucking the information. It was not, and I ain't gonna say they was doing it purposely. I'm saying they probably was just still figuring things out themselves. And they contract, a lot of their contracts wasn't even right enough to even give us no gems really like that. So we had to figure it out. Everybody was getting bust upside their head, and so we grew up together through that whole portal, man. And we cleaned up a lot. So when you see youngins now, they can just drop they project if they got a great
The
following.
independence movement is big.
We made it possible. The pioneers before us made it possible for us to kick in the door, and we just kept it going and streamlined until we get up to this part. Now we talking about ownership. Now we can sit on this throne and go, all right, 30 years. We talking about ownership. We talking about all of this is our 8th album, and we've been independent. We've been with Duck Down, from the inception, and it's like keeping it home. So to pass something on, so it's not just an old folks, a young man's game. It's a game of legacy.